Today we're going to discuss the why and the how of Michael convincing himself and lying to himself about Trevor being dead. So firstly, we gotta look at the two instances in the game storyline where this is apparent. First off, you have the scene with Dave, Franklin, and Michael when Dave's freaking out because of the jewel store robbery. Michael says to Dave, Trevor's dead, that's fine. And secondly, in the mission casing the jewel store when Michael's talking to Lester about Trevor, Michael keeps listing all these possible causes for Trevor's death based on what he knew about him before. And Michael at one point asks, where did they bury him? And Lester goes, not as far as I know. Both Lester and Dave do know that Trevor is alive, but Michael has no idea. He instead just took a guess and eventually, over the years, convinced himself that there's no chance of him being alive at all. Now, why was this the case? Well, for a start, we know that Michael and Trevor knew each other very well, and we know that Michael specifically did that deal to get rid of Trevor. Keep in mind, it's not like they just started working together. They have been friends and partners in crime for the last decade or so by the time Prologue takes place. As we know, Michael's deal failed, and it resulted in Brad dying instead of Trevor, who was originally the main target. So as a means for Michael to sleep better at night, he spent years convincing himself that, considering how well he knows Trevor, there's simply no chance that he made it, simply due to his lifestyle and whatnot. Now, do I think that deep down Michael knew Trevor was still out there? Maybe. I am kind of 50-50 on that. Like, it's possible that he knew on like a subconscious level, considering how, despite everything, Trevor was no idiot and could absolutely handle himself. But to say that Michael all this time knew 150% that Trevor was out there, there is no chance that Michael would be able to have any kind of peace of mind over the last few years. He would have gone insane. He probably would have just completely lost his marbles. This was pretty much the easy way for Michael. He just convinced himself that Trevor was dead, and in his mind, that was it. That book was closed, until it wasn't. But real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, leave a like on it and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 3K subs before GTA 6, so let's go ahead and try to make that happen. I feel like it's kind of funny how deep this goes, even to the point when he gets told twice by people who very well know that Trevor is in fact not dead. He still denies it and brushes it off completely. All this to make himself not think about the possibility of him being alive. I will also say that up until the point when Michael reunites with Dave and Lester, it's actually reasonable in my opinion for him to think this way. Like Jimmy himself said during a hangout to Trevor, his lifestyle really isn't something that would suggest longevity. And also he was a subject of a nationwide manhunt for who knows how long. Finally, to answer the questions from the beginning of this video though, Michael did this because it made him dealing with everyday life easier. It gave him a false sense of peace, and over the years he had come to fully believe that Trevor was dead. And as for how he came to that conclusion, it was purely based on what Michael knew about Trevor, which granted was a lot considering that they had known each other for over a decade when Michael quote-unquote died. And since Michael knew how Trevor lived day to day, he just concluded that based on that, combined with the fact that he was a mass murderer on the run and wanted by everyone and their grandma, yeah, it's pretty clear why Michael thought that Trevor would have never survived the 9 years between Prologue and the main story. Overall, like I said, I don't think that it was terribly unreasonable of Michael to think that way. However, it was a little bit ignorant of him also to dismiss the stuff that he had been told by both Lester and Dave. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this video. Leave your thoughts and opinions on this topic in the comments down below. Do you think that Michael just suppressed things? Do you think that he just never thought about it? Do you think that he convinced himself this big lie, which is something that he does all the time throughout the game? So I do think that this is another instance of that. But until next video stream, bye bye.